How do you know?
Well, it's going now. See the little. It's not the different colors.
Oh, the timer's going.
Yeah, see the timer's going up. So this is Jerry Ritchie, President EAA Chapter 34.
Chris Sims, Vice President, Chapter 34 of Arlington, Grand Prairie, Texas. Actually, we're the Dallas-Fort Worth chapter.
Yeah, so we kind of got the whole area. There are other good EAA chapters in the area, though. So we just wanted to do a little video, a little year-end video for 2020. We want to flush 2020, absolutely, get it out of the way. Actually, 2020 was a good year for the chapter, but we know that other people had personal challenges during the year, and we don't want to forget that as well. So we're at January 1, 2021, right? Please validate that.
Yes, it was a very, very good transition to the new year. I woke up nice and early, ready to get out here and get started on a brand new EAA 34 year.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And I'm not going to tell you what's in this cup.
This is just caramel coffee.
Yeah, it's just coffee. And so we just wanted to chat, kind of talk about 2020. And we started off 2020 with a bang. We did the EAA Leadership Conference, hosted that for the region. Had a maximum crowd there. This was before COVID hit, and everybody had a really good time. So we had a really nice schedule set up for 2020, and COVID just blew it out of the water. But we shifted. We were agile. And instead of doing large group events, we started doing smaller group events, and it actually forced us to focus. Was something we wanted to do, focus on our youth program, and get some of the youth that have stayed with us after flying with us as Young Eagles into ground school program, and we want to try to get them going through that first hurdle. They get reimbursed if they've flown with us as a Young Eagle for that $165 fee on that ground school class. So we want to get them past that first hurdle so they get in an airplane and start flying. So that's one of the things, that's why we shifted from the big Eagle events to the smaller group events, and that's going really well. We have about 5 youth that are following us in that ground school, and they're wrapping up their studies, and I think they'll be ready to sit for their first exam around the first or second week of January. Did you hear that?
You're talking about a real exam?
The real exam. Yeah, okay. They're taking the practice exams, the evaluation exams now, doing study. We were conducting Thursday evening ground school sessions for them. They were about 1 hour ground school sessions. We had a lot of folks volunteer, a lot of time and a lot of effort. We've got some pretty good materials and presentations put together for that. But now we started doing in-person training, and we've done that several times. And so we're hoping that they're taking these holidays, taking advantage of that to wrap up their studies and get ready for the exam. We've been able to fly Young Eagles one-off.
Quite a few, actually. We flew a lot.
We had a little rally out of the chapter office around February, and we flew about 16 in that little small rally. And I know Cheryl Litkey's been flying a bunch of Young Eagles too.
True.
So thank her for that, and several others. I know David Setzer has, and I'm going to leave somebody else out, I'm sure. Vic Zwerline volunteered one day, just stepped up, and we had a couple of young folks here at a chapter meeting, a monthly meeting that wanted to go. So we did that. We've been doing that. We've done a few movie nights. We've done several cookouts in lieu of a get-together in the lobby over here at Arlington Municipal Airport. We usually meet second Tuesday of every month, 7 p.m. there. But due to COVID-19 restrictions and our concerns and considerations over that, we just decided to do some cookouts instead, and the weather really cooperated.
Right.
So we made a little progress on the Thunderbolt, the P-47 Thunderbolt, kind of getting it going, building the rotisserie for it. And I know we've done some other things. What else have we done?
Well, okay. I mean, I think kind of like this chapter does movie nights. We have builds. We have all kinds of things. And the movie night right before COVID shut the world down was really big. That was a 50-plus person there at Grand Prairie Airport, big operation, and that was a good one.
That's right. That was
a very good one.
What was it? Final Countdown.
Final Countdown, and we're going to be doing some more of that. I don't know if at that level we might, but we're going to have movie nights again. That's an outdoor event. Radio Cafe hosted us on that one indoor event in February where we maxed the house out, and then we've been doing them in the hangar, which is really fun events. Right.
So I saw one I want to do, Strategic Air Command, the movie.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good old movie. I like that back in the day. But so we're going to have those are easy to throw together. We can throw those are socials. We did after that, of course, the ground school thing hit with some of our kids were struggling So that forced the ground school to start, and
well, that's a good point.
well, I mean, it helped force it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, they were having trouble. Therefore, some of us who are already pilots, instructors, whatever, we used our experience and helped mentor them through those hurdles, and that got them through. And then thus we've sort of got a ground school.
Well, that was something else we did this year, and I think you're referring to some of these students that we put our third Ray Aviation Scholarship recipient through this year, and actually our second went through this year too. So Alexis and Sandesh received their private pilot's license on the Ray Aviation Scholarship fund, and we're actually going to start meeting here, the scholarship committee. There's 4 of us on the scholarship committee: Chris, myself, Cheryl Lidke, and Joey McCorkle, and we're going to start soliciting for candidates to submit their applications after we find out whether or not we get another $10,000 scholarship to grant, and we should know early February. It's already January, so we're going to know pretty soon. So we're getting really good at putting these youth through these programs now. We're building our skills. There's a bit of a challenge at first, but we're getting pretty good at that, and so that's why we want to do another ground school sometime later this year. We're going to recover from the first ground school. It's a lot of work for maybe some kids that have flown with us at our Young Eagles events this year in 2021. And we're under discussions to have a Young Eagles event sometime around the beginning of second quarter. We had a chapter member actually request that we do a Young Eagles event out at Lancaster for the Ferris Independent School District, and so we're looking into that. Oh, the table's rocking. Don't get seasick. Don't get airsick. So
I'm trying to be in phase.
Yeah. So we're already starting to talk about what we do in 2021, and well, I don't want to leave 2020 yet, because there was one big event we did in 2020 that we got a lot of recognition for. But let me stop and do a commercial. So we've got these really nice EAA 34 pins now that are for sale. So how much are they?
$5.
$5, and then we're tacking on $1 for shipping.
If you need it mailed, you can come pick it up for free. In-store pickup is free.
Yeah, or you can come pick it up for free. But tell us about the score you got on the coffee mugs.
Oh yeah, so we have, I don't know how many EA chapters have a nice, colorful coffee mug, and this one I've had for a year. It says, "I love EA 34." It's got our EA 34 logo with the man, the hair on fire pilot flying on.
What is that floating around in there?
I don't know. It just lives in the cup.
Have you ever watched that?
No, I never do. But bottom line, I'll tell you, this cup gets used every day at home, and I love this cup. It's unusual. It's different. We have a different. Here's a smaller one for you ladies or other guys who don't want to drink 2 cups. This is a 15 ounce, and that's an 8 ounce cup.
Put your pinky out.
So you can do that. But anyway, these cups are very unique in the EAA chapter. They're colorful. They're very nice. They're this one is a large one. We've got 30 of them we ordered from Walmart. They had a special deal at Christmas, so I got them, and they'll be $12 per mug.
Sure.
And that's not a bad deal. You go online and look for mugs. These are custom mugs. Of course, the profits go to help us fund some of these ground schools, all these other operations that we do, and you'll have a very, very nice cup. So, and it keeps your coffee warmer than a normal cup.
You can order an EAA 34 shirt.
Oh yeah, and then you get the shirt, and there's the shirt. It's the tie-dye shirt with the man on hair on fire flyer. Got our logo on the back. A lot of people like the tie-dye. It is, turn around. Yeah, turn around. It's got the tie-dye. Yes, there it is. You can get one of those, and then you're going to be, the people that you're around and other folks that you're, when you're walking through town, they're going to see your colors, and they're going to want to be part of you.
So Chris was tasked with finding us a shirt where we could see each other when we were at Oshkosh and find each other across the airfield. And so I said, I want something when people look at it, they want to throw up. And so Chris found these shirts. And so,
and that's a high quality. The shirt is really high quality, so it's not like a junky shirt. That shirt will last you a long time. So that's what we've got going. So we're a little bit unique on that thing. EA 34, we're moving and shaking, and we're trying to make a difference in our community. But
so let's talk about the big event.
Okay, so as things transpired, COVID comes along, the economy shuts down. There's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go. Me personally, I'm sick and tired of going to Granbury and some of these other just typical places. They're only 25, 30, 40 miles away, and you get there back, and they're nice places. They really are. But I'm tired of that, so we started looking around for something else to do, like with camping, lakes, things like that. So in the search on Google Maps, found a little place called Marlin, has a lake 400 feet away from the airfield, basically on the airfield, and it looked like it was in disrepair. I'll use that. That'd be a nice word.
The runway was okay.
The runway is okay, but it was bad.
Surface.
And the road into it, it was like finding the Bat Cave.
Now, how far? Tell us where Marlin is.
It's 100 miles, or 100 miles, or about 85 nautical miles south of the Arlington Airport, just south of Waco, Texas, and
southeast. About
slightly southeast. Yeah, it's on Highway 6 or so, on the way down to College
about 30
Station.
miles
Yeah.
southeast or something.
So you go down there. So we looked it up. I called the city. The city manager was very interested in doing something with his airport, so Jerry and I drove down there and talked to him. Took a look at the airport, and of course it was in disrepair, but they were motivated to do something.
Yeah.
And so that motivated us. We all had time. We're not really doing much with the shutdown of the economy. So we went down and helped them out, cleaned up some stuff.
You, Vic, Sandesh.
Yeah, a bunch of us.
Who else went? Somebody else went. And several other people went down there.
Oh, yeah,
that.
various times. I mean, I know John Allison gone down there. I know Walter. Walt's been down there.
I can't remember his last name, so I just called him.
He's been down there. And anyway, so what we ended up doing is we met with the city. We decided that we could run an operation out of there, EAA 34 Young Eagles fly-in event, and the city was into it. Planning occurred, and over the next 4 months or so, we planned it, and on November 7th, we executed
we flew about
fly-in.
45 kids.
Right, and flew a lot of kids. This airport that could really only handle about 15 airplanes probably on the ramp handled about 50 plus airplanes.
That was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
We were back taxiing 3 aircraft at a time.
Right, yeah. The airplanes would be on the runway.
And the pilots did a good job of helping us manage that.
Right.
So thank you everyone that came down to Marlin. We're going to do it this year again, 2020?
The city needs to do it. The city wants to, and the city, you have to remember, they need some help on this, but they were proactive and they did everything they said they would do. And the airport's a lot nicer now. They have a lot of things that look, from what it was, it's just completely turned around. They're going to do more. They need to have camping. I think that's stuff we'll talk to them about setting up so you could fly in, go camping, go fishing.
They have perch there this big.
I'm telling you. In fact, your hand, it's more like, it's like that. And that's just, and they're like that thick. So it's like steaks. So,
but anyway, you have to cook them.
But we're going to do it this year again, I think, sometime. And the weather was perfect that day.
The weather, somebody was looking out for us that day because the morning before it was fogged in. The morning after it was fogged in. The day of it was clear as a bell.
Crystal.
So I would say that's a yes. We're going to do Marlin again. And there's talk of putting in a seaplane base down there.
Correct. And there's guys. Mike Iris, he's a Sea-Ray pilot down in Central Texas. He's interested in it. We had 3 or 4 seaplanes at that fly-in, and that's unusual.
And they flew some of our Young Eagles.
And they flew, so Young Eagles got to fly on seaplanes. They got to see this whole operation. It was very good event, and I think the city got a lot out of it. And of course, we all got a lot. We learned how to plan an event.
We did
like
get a lot out of it, and we learned a lot about grants. Airport grants, yeah.
Right.
And the Texas Airports Council and Charlotte Wright, the airport manager at Cleveland, really helped us out there. Worked with Cedric to help him through some of the hurdles to get some of those grants.
Yeah, these are not single-person operations. I mean, we had John Stem, who lives down there. He helped a lot. Cedric, the city manager, was working a lot. We had our own members that were all willing to donate their time and effort and money because it was a long drive down there. Joanne McCorkle, Carl Orton. I mean, a lot of people came down. Sandesh came down and brought a crew. Had a lot of pilots. We had a lot of pilots and volunteers out of EAA 34 for that event. And so one of the things we talked about doing was giving our members a chance to volunteer because they want to. We were using Civil Air Patrol folks to help us with some of the ground control, but we have members that want to do that, and so we want to give our members an opportunity to do that, and that's what we did at Marlin, and you guys sure showed up and helped us out this year. We couldn't be doing what we're doing without our members and our volunteers, and every little bit helps, and we got a lot of recognition out of that Marlin event. Correct. It's in the we contacted EA National, and it is in their EAA e-hotline, and so it got added to that, and then it was in the top 10 stories, or voted to be in one of the top 10 stories of the EAA hotline.
We earned that one. We all learned that.
Yeah, it was a good event.
We're doing what we think an EAA chapter should be doing, and that's one of the things that when Chris and I and Carl and some of the other guys that popped in on the board, it's been about almost 4 years ago. At the end of this year, it'll be 4 years. What we decided was we needed to get back to doing what an EAA chapter needed to be doing, and I think that's what we're doing. And there's kind of 3 threads we see to that. And I've read the EAA books. I've read Paul Poporesny's book, and so the story begins. And then what's the name of our member that was the airback? Wayne Cole. I read his book. This is EAA. And so there's kind of 3 threads of interest here. We decided there's our builders, which is the foundation of any EAA chapter, our experimental pilots and builders. And then our certified pilots, and then everybody that works with our A&Ps, engineers, people that are just interested in aviation or the STEM technologies. We have members that will never fly an airplane themselves or own one. Some that will never even work on one, but they like the STEM technologies and they like to get involved there. Some people just like to be around aircraft, aviations.
The cool people, the aviation guys,
like you,
like us. Yeah, we're the.
So we're the cool people, and so that's 2 threads. So there's the experimental guys, there's the certified aircraft guys, and then we do safety seminars. We've got the IMC VMC club meetings going on now. That was really good. You guys really ought to dial into those. Really good safety sessions. And educational, whether you're a VFR or IFR pilot. And then we've got our youth, and youth is one of the new programs that we've got going. It's very important to us. And we've got some really good youth involved and engaged, and we want to get them through to getting their pilot's license. We also want to get them into EAA. We're here for EAA. That's what we're about. And so we want to get the youth involved. We want them to see the value of EAA. We want them to stay on as EAA members after they get their pilot's license and move on to their careers. Hopefully some of them stay in the area. We know a lot will move off to college, university. Some will go to live on Mars with the Mars program probably. I know a couple that want to go live on Mars.
They probably should be there already.
They're already kind of acting like Martians, a couple of them. But that's cool. Martians are cool. So anyway, so those are our 3 threads of interest there. And we're going to have our monthly meetings over Zoom. We got a very interesting speaker coming up in January, and he's going to be speaking about his ferry flights over the ocean. And I've seen one of his YouTube videos. It's pretty exciting stuff. We've got the SR-71 pilot signed up to speak in March, Richard Graham. And so watch our newsletter, watch our Facebook page for those postings. Our regular monthly chapter meetings are the 2nd Tuesday of every month, 7 p.m., doing those over Zoom at the first of the year. And then our IMC VMC meetings are the 4th Tuesday of the month, 7 p.m. And so we'll be having our monthly meeting coming up a week from Tuesday.
Right.
So we're going to be doing that every month, as well as a lot of other things we already talked about. We're going to find a way to do a Young Eagles rally this year at some point in time. Hopefully, when the air shows come around, Wings Over Dallas, we'll be all squared away with whatever has to be done to mitigate COVID, and we'll be co-locating there hopefully. One thing that I really want to do is a sheet metal working workshop, and I'm going to get with some others, and we're going to buy some sufficient, good quality sheet metal working tools to do that workshop with. And so we've been working kind of with Joseph Vu over here. He's sitting next to us, and he's working on an RV-14 kit right now, as well as Darren Reddick. They're at about the same phase, and we're kind of consulting with them on what kind of tools and what kind of a project we'll put together for that workshop. But we're going to try to do solid rivets and pop rivets and shaping and polishing of aluminum parts, and then the nut plates. And so we want to do all the major things you're going to do on a sheet metal working project within a 4-hour class. And we're going to have all the tools. I'm thinking 4 stations, 2 people per station. We'll be able to manage COVID like that, any kind of COVID concerns and consideration. And we're going to have some quality tools for you to work with when we do that. Not sure when we're going to do it yet. We've got some tools we need to purchase. We actually are using some of the money that you guys are paying into the tools level membership for that. We've also earmarked 15% of all revenues coming into the chapter for tools purchase. We're an EAA chapter. We're all about building experimental aircraft.
We have our scales too.
Talking
about tools.
Yeah.
And what other nice thing do we have?
We have a knuckle press crimper. We have if you have a temporary project, you need to come in and work on something. We have some nice drill presses, bandsaws, vices. We have a tube flaring tool. We have crimpers. We have hole finders.
If your propeller's out of balance, we can balance that. Or, well,
Yeah, we have
that can happen too. We have a dynamic balancer.
Yeah.
That's not. It's affiliated with the EAA.
It's not a chapter-owned tool, but Chris and I own it, so we take a little bit of that money and feed it back into the chapter.
Sure.
So,
in fact, like almost all of it. But yeah. And then that's something that you can have access to if you're in the chapter.
So Chris, what do we want to do differently? Is there anything we want to do differently in 2021 as opposed to how we did it in 2020? I know the COVID stuff's going to change some things, but is there anything that comes into scope that's different that you can think of?
I mean, I think I'm not quite sure how the dynamics of all that's going to go with how everybody feels about that. But I mean, everybody has a different threshold of risk. But I think I'm liking. Well, I think one of the more important, a very important part of our chapter now is the development of this youth program to me, and it needs. I like to have it working organically, and I think it's starting to do that. I mean, the kids, they'll tell their friends, and they're having a good time, and they're getting flying. So I like that part.
Well, Joanne's getting ready for a youth aviation camp this year,
right.
and if COVID will allow, we'll do that. And I think it needs to be more than 2 days. Our 2-day youth aviation camp we did a couple of years ago. Some of those youth stuck with us, and I know at least one of them was our aviation scholarship recipient, and recently got his private pilot's license, Sandwich. So that's one way to get our youth hooked in. They come in and they find out what EAA is about in those workshops and with flying with us as Young Eagles and everything EAA has to offer. And so that's why I think EAA is a good place for youth. They just haven't found out about us yet. EAA National's really done a good job of supporting us and giving us a lot of tools with which to support our youth programs. Not only our youth, also our builders, our adult builders and flyers.
So, and I think, I want to keep hitting this youth, but I think some of the parents have told us that we are making a huge impact because these kids are coming around a different group of adults, have different interests. They're learning to kind of work around us. They're going to gain some valuable life skills, not to mention the help that we're doing with the ground schools and other things. And I think
we're learning too.
This is and it helps us too.
Yeah, because we know what Instagram is now.
I can hit the button. I have no idea how to make that. That's that part. That is helpful. But so that's the whole deal about the youth thing. Kids that are around other adults, they learn. There's a lot of things that they can learn.
And
from
it's the good youth that are sticking with us
right.
too. I mean, but we want to outreach too, and that was part of the purpose of Marlin, was to kind of give these youth at Marlin a chance to see what flying in an airplane was all about.
Yeah, some of them may have never seen.
Well, we were told by some of the city officials down there, who I can't speak highly enough of, Cedric Davis Jr. and the mayor
Carol
Lofton. Yeah, they did a really good job. And Pamela was the
Thomas.
principal.
She was the
Pamela
principal.
Thomas, yeah. So we had a lot of really good support. We had a good support from your American Airlines friend that came down there with us.
Yeah, Charles Wheeler. American Airlines based chief. DFW-based chief pilot.
Yeah, so that felt good. Getting involved with the youth, helping them expose them to aviation and flying and the STEM technologies and careers, which they wouldn't have a chance to see before without us being involved. That felt good, and we're going to do more of that. But we also understand that our foundation also is our adult members, so we want to make it fun for you guys too.
Yeah, it's about the fun. Movie nights are going to start. We got a lot of movies we can show. I think and these are things that have been successful for us.
We got some we can't show too. Can we show Airplane?
I don't know about Airplane. I would show Airplane, but I know people would freak out. So if we do have, there's plenty of really good movies that are basically G or PG, maybe 13. That it's totally good. If there's Airplane, I don't know. But I think what we've done is when we got here 4 years ago, I'm not 100% sure there was even 25 or 30 members that were actually showing up. And so, I'm going to get you one in a minute. But now, through movie nights, build programs, and speaking of building, we talked about aluminum. We got Russ Imanis, who's a composites master, and he has a whole shop, and he's invited us to come out and he'll show us how to do some composites. And
that's probably another class we're going to do in 2021. If Russ will accommodate us, if he's got a place for us, then we'll go out there and we'll have a master show us how to do composite.
And he does beautiful work. He makes real pieces for aircraft. He's making boats. He's not boats like big boats, but very specialized, super lightweight boats. And he has also his own design, the Odyssey, which is going to be a one-person electric fan aircraft that'll go about 150 miles an hour. So it's going to run about an hour at 150 miles an hour or something like that. So it's very interesting.
We have 15 or 16 builds going on in our chapter right now. And I mentioned Joseph Vu has got an RV-14. Darren Reddick's got an RV-14. We got another member, I can't remember, his name escapes me. We got several other guys building 14s. And I know a guy that's got a Focke-Wulf 190 War.
We got to get these things going.
And he hasn't flown it yet. It's got 165 hours on it, but he's got this little problem, something about the landing gear.
Well, that's going to be, because it's fiberglass. Russ is going to help me get that straightened out. We got to cut the wheel wells open a little bit, but those are projects that have got to move forward this year. So we do have things to do, but I think what I was going to say is we have grown this chapter to well over 100 members now.
Yes. Yeah. Because we're doing what any EAA chapter should do. There's no magic about us. Right. It's the magic about the fabric, and the fabric is all of our leadership. It's all of our members. It's all of our youth that get involved. I don't think they know how important they are to us as well. And we definitely want to get all you guys a pilot's license in your hand if that's what you want, an A&P certificate in your hands, get you into engineering, get you into a rocket going to Mars. I mean, this is a first step. We've had people come through here right now that are at the Columbus Air Force Base going to flight training that have come through this chapter, and definitely they were capable of doing this on their own, but Chris here helped them out. And so whatever your aspirations are aviation-wise, we're a good starting point.
Absolutely, and but there's something for everybody. If you come here and there's something we're not doing, you have a good idea, then hey, this is a great place to toss your ideas out. Maybe it's a springboard to something else that we'll start doing. Right. Especially aviation. I mean, that doesn't necessarily. If it's related, maybe we'll go for it. There's a lot of things that can be done here.
So this video is going to go up on Facebook, so they can IM us. What's it called in Facebook? The instant messaging.
Yeah, Messenger.
Messenger. Yeah. So you guys will be able to send us a message off of the site, and we've got a website. We've got an Instagram site, which isn't real active yet, but we'll get it going up.
We have YouTube. We have a YouTube channel with EAA movies or programming on it.
And we just bought 2 GoPro videos to put in the aircraft when we're flying Young Eagles, so we can kind of show the youth in there having a good time, and we can grade Chris's landings.
Right, but anyway, so you can see what's going on. If you go to the EAA Chapter 34 YouTube.
Can I simulate one of your landings? I'm going to simulate one of your landings.
Yeah.
We come in
and okay. It's kind of like Star Trek. Remember in Star Trek they get hit?
Yeah.
Both go. Yeah, doing that. So really the Enterprise was not moving at all.
So this is the first of a series of videos we're going to start doing periodically throughout the year.
Maybe we can be in a shop doing something.
The audio's probably not real good on this one because the camera's sitting away a little bit. We got the heater running in the background. But Chris came in and got the office a nice toaster.
Steiner heater is going.
Yes, we got a Steiner heater in here. It's a long story, but it's a Steiner heater. And hey, if you guys are interested in aviation, check us out. If you're a member already, let us know how we're doing. If you like these videos, let us know. If you want to purchase any of these items, just IM us. We've also got a website with some opportunity to purchase some of these items. I think we're going to get a nice polo shirt. We ordered one about 8 years ago, but they're starting to wear out.
Yeah. Pilling, but they were good quality. But need to do that. That's on there. And by the way, these shirts are. Did you tell them how much they were? $30.
$30, and we're not making hardly anything.
No, that's not like making a lot, but they are.
That's just about our cost.
Covers our costs.
But we want to put one of these hippie shirts on you, and so we're a very patriotic organization, but we call them hippie shirts. So they mean something a little different now than they did in the '60s. Oshkosh. So Oshkosh 2021. If they have it, we're going to be there, and we're going to try to take as many people up there with us as we can. And so stay tuned for that. We'll figure things out, even if we stay at different places. Then we'll
camping is very good.
Yeah, camping under the wings, camping under the stars back
that was
there.
Good.
Just don't camp next to Carl over there. He's like, what is that, National Lampoon Vacation with the guy that was dumping his sewage out?
Oh yeah. I don't want to talk about that. He was very embarrassing.
Yeah, but anyway, we usually stay at Marion University, 30 minutes away from Oshkosh, but we drive in. So we can figure out how to get together there at Oshkosh. Figure out a way to go, guys. and we'll get together. Okay, we're probably running out of time. My little camera's running out of juice.
Right.
We're not going to do nothing in 2021. I promise you. We were very active in 2020, and as you guys saw, one of the top 10 most active chapters in the world. And we're just doing the basics. Like I said, we're just doing the basics, and we want to kind of focus a little bit more. I think one thing I want to do in 2021 a little bit more is help our builders out a little bit more, and then get the youth involved in those programs, because not everybody wants to jump into a cockpit and go fly off. Some of these people want to build and work in engineering and things like that as well. But okay, I guess we'll wrap it up. How do we wrap it up?
You want to sing the song?
Well, yeah, go ahead. You start. You start, and I'll follow along. Okay, the next video we will have an EAA 34 song. We promise we'll have a video. Yeah, I've already got one for that. I've got an F8F Bearcat project.
You want to tell us a couple of the lyrics before you hang? No.
Just the Barney lyrics. I love you, you love me, we're a happy family. That's what just comes to mind.
Okay.
It's kind of stuck in there.
All right. Then, yeah. So now you have something to look forward to. The song.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks, guys. Like we said, send us a message. Let us know how we're doing. Come out, join us on the next Zoom meeting. We'll post up the invitation. You don't have to register. It's a very easy process. All you do is key in your email address and your name, and you're registered to get in the Zoom meeting. So thanks a lot for helping us out, guys, and thanks, Chris, for being one of the best vice presidents.
Oh yeah, thank you for
chapter
being.
member could ever
Thank
have.
you for that. You are still healthy and you're still the president.
Yeah. Elections are coming up at the end of this year, though. You could be the president.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I think it's time.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
Appreciate
bye.
it. Have a good one.